As you know, we're in a bit of a crisis. The whole world is changing, the way we do business is changing. And if at any time innovation mattered, it's now. We need to rethink the way we're doing business, to rethink the way we're managing people, processes, technology. And that is all about innovation. If you want to look for new ways of doing things and recreating the model by which you make money, make profits, change the world, this is the place to come to do it. The great thing about our conferences is we have a great mix of speakers. We combine the practical, big name CEOs of the corporates like Phil Clark at Tesco, Dick Oliver of BAE Systems, with the funkier outer edges of kind of design thinking from Tom Hume at IDEO to our own Tim Harford and Troy Carter of Lady Gaga. So it's really about combining all of those elements into one place. Having been to a lot of other events, I mean, one of the things that we do really well, I think also, is just accessibility to speakers. It's not just about what they say, but the ability to interact with what they're saying and engage with them as individuals, and as well, myself and Andrew Hill, my co-host, the management editor of the FT. So it's a very different approach to conferences. It's a smaller, more intimate way of doing things, and it's a great space for ideas. One of the things that I've always enjoyed about the innovation conferences is that you can get both the delegates who come and attend speaking to and with the people who are speaking from the rostrum, from the podium. I think this year we've got a great lineup of speakers, and I think it's going to be a really interesting mix because of the moment we're at. As I mentioned before, we're in this moment of transition with how we do business. And a few of the companies, like Tesco, I think Phil Clark will be really interesting because that company has been a marker of how to do business in Britain for the last decade and a half or more. But they're facing slightly difficult times, so it'll be interesting to know how he's going to use innovation to change the way they're doing things, to equip them for the next century of growth and expansion and establishing themselves as the #1 retailer in the world. Elsewhere, I think Jareth Thorpe from the New York Times will be really interesting on how to present information in a very different way. Again, it all comes down to communication. Much of what innovation is about being able to communicate those great ideas to a bigger population. And I think he's done some great work on that front. Others, Tim Harford, obviously one of our people, is a great speaker, thinker, and ideas man. So I think he'll be really, really interesting. And the list goes on and on, really.